Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. As you can see, we are in the garage with the Frontier. She's kind of dirty. We just got back from off-roading, but when I showed up at home, something was dropped off from Amazon, and that's what we're going to be installing today in this video. And what that is a new air filter. Like I said, you can get these straight off Amazon. You can order from K&N. Some places that sell air filters may even have it in stock. The part number you're looking for is 33-5116. That's what will fit in our 2022 and up Frontiers. And basically what this is a high flow version of what's in there right now. In here, obviously, all vehicles come with just the cheap paper ones. This thing is expensive. It's about 80 bucks after tax Canadian. So obviously way more expensive than the cheap paper stuff you can get, but this is, like you can see here, lifetime limited warranty. Basically, this thing will last forever. They make kits where you can take it out and clean it, because obviously you can see how the truck looks. You'll see under the hood once I pop it open how dirty it gets under there. This thing will collect a lot of junk over time, but again, it's high flow. So I'm not really sure if you'll see fuel mileage gains or power gains at all, but I will do another update video on that if I find any difference. But having this, not only, yes, it's expensive, but like I said, you have this forever. All you gotta do is clean it, even once, twice a year, good enough. Clean it out, depending how hardcore you drive. If you're on really dusty roads all the time, maybe more often, but you are going to save money in the long run doing this. So let's pop open the hood and we'll get it in, see how it fits. And you guys can decide if you want to pick it up for yourself or not. I will leave the link down below if you do. All right, now before we put the actual filter and start moving on to that portion, I know people ask in the comments why I didn't just get the whole cold air intake from Z1. You can add a snorkel later, all that stuff. Reason being, I'm not 100% sold on the cold air intake thing. One, I don't really go too hardcore into like water and mud and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about anything. You can see where the air comes in here. I'm not worried about anything being above that point and getting possibly sucked into the airbox and into the engine. I'm not going anything deep like that. Eventually, if I move on to something a little more crazy like that, I may swap it out. And the second reason is I like testing things for myself. So for someone who doesn't want to spend, I think the intake and snorkel system to get the whole thing is just over $1,000 Canadian. So this filter cost me 80 bucks that we're putting in. So for someone who maybe just wants a little bit of extra airflow, possibly some gas mileage increases, we're going to test that out and see if it actually can happen with 80 bucks over having to get a whole setup. Yes, you can get just the cold air intake. That I believe is around 5 or 6. I can't remember exactly. But again, shipping it up here, paying for it, the currency exchange, all that. 80 bucks compared to like 500 plus. And for research purposes, I'm going to go with the filter first. And then eventually, when the time comes, if I want to snorkel, I plan to just do the whole shebang in one go. Instead of having to do parts piece by piece, we're just going to do one big install. So if it gets to that point, that's what my plan is. All right, so moving under the hood, to actually get just the filter out itself is very easy on these trucks. You've got a little clip on the right-hand side that flips up. You have the same clip on the left-hand side that clips down. You can lift the box open and get it out. On this side, if you guys can see, there is little guide pins. There's 3 across, or 2. Can't quite tell from my angle. But basically when you go and put this thing back in, those clip in there. You sandwich down this side, just like that. And then these, when you clip it in, will pull everything back down in place. Now, the step I'm going to do that I recommend, but you don't really have to do it, is it's a 8mm to get this off. Just take off the little rubber piece and you'll be able to flip this whole thing up and just get in there and eyeball everything. What you're looking for, and the reason I say take it off after the rubber piece, is if any dirt or dust or anything is getting through there, which is a big issue, you don't want anything going and getting sucked into the motor, you're going to see it in the rubber because it's corrugated like you can see. So if dust is getting through there, it's going to get stuck and a little bit of it will pile up here. So it's easy to see. And again, you can just look, give everything a little inspection. You can clean out inside this box once we get this out of the way, because most likely there will be some gunk in the bottom. So we'll take that off, pull this whole cover off, just flip it up out of the way, take a look at everything, get it cleaned out before we drop the new filter in. All right, so this is what it'll look like when you got it all off. Just be careful because this wire right here is your airflow sensor. You don't want to damage that or bang it around, so just be gentle. It can take a little bit of a beating, but be gentle with it. And then as for getting the rubber off, it just goes on here, slides right off. There's a little lip on the side which kind of helps hold it. And then when you push this back on, this little plastic nub right here, you want to get that all the way on till it hits the nub, tighten it down, and when you put it back together, that's all you need. And then like I said, just take a look in here, grab a light. You can see in there, there's nothing, a little speck of dirt just right there. Make sure there's nothing big, no dust or anything. I'll get a paper towel or a rag and just wipe in there, get all the little dust and my fingerprints out. And then again, if you look in here, you have your sensor, and then kind of hard from this side of things, but I don't want to yank on the sensor. What I was talking about is just in there, make sure there's no dirt or anything accumulating in the rubber, which this is upside down. It would have all fell out if it was. So we know that it's good. And obviously, as you can see with the amount of dust under the hood, a lot of gunk and dirt does get into the engine bay. And even along here against the lip, you can see how dirty it gets. So we'll pull out this filter. We'll go and compare it to the new one. Now I've had the truck for about a year and a half, just over. It's got 20,000, just over 20,000 kilometers on it. I don't drive too much. But this thing is not in horrible shape. It's got a little bit of glue on there to hold the little, whatever you call these, the vents. Put it in the comments. I forget what they're called right now. But these together so it doesn't blow up on itself or anything like that. But again, it's not picking up too much big stuff. And then like I mentioned, coming in here, because it actually sucks in air from your fender, if you don't know, right there. It'll pull the air in, so you want to get in here and just wipe down, get all the dirt and dust from the bottom of the box out as well before we put the new one in. All right, so now we will compare the two just before we put them in. As you can see, everybody's seen these paper ones. It's kind of like a rubbery, almost hard plastic. It's got a little flex to it, but not too crazy, just so it can mold into place. You have the mesh screen on top with your paper filter underneath. Whereas the K&N one built similar, but as you can see, the gaps in between all the spots here are much bigger compared to this, letting more airflow. Your mesh goes up and down with all the different slots here. And again, you can hose this out and clean it all up. And then again, it's got a little bit, this is like a little bit of a oil texture on it, probably because it's brand new. Keep in mind, I've had these put into vehicles in the past. When you put it in there, because it's got this oily kind of rubber residue on it, and the sides have it here, as you can see, goes all the way and wraps around the bottom a little bit too. Whereas on this one, it's just your paper filter all the way around. When you put this in there, you do have to kind of push it in a little bit because the rubber, being how it is, grips slightly. So it doesn't want to just drop in. Whereas this one, it's dry paper. You plop it in there and it almost seats itself. But keep in mind when you put this one in, you're going to have to kind of push it down a little bit. It does fit, or we'll see if it fits, hopefully. But you will have to put a little bit of pressure just to seat it all down nicely. And then once you clip the box back on top, it'll suck it down and you won't have any issues after that. But keep in mind when you're putting it on, if there's a little bit of resistance, it's not the wrong filter. It's just because the rubber is biting onto the sides. So now we'll drop it in and maybe it'll make a liar out of me, or maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. So you put it in there like that, and as you can see, it kind of looks like it's too big. You just got to wiggle and give it a little bit of persuasion. Don't push super hard, but you can see it'll suck itself down. Obviously, kind of common sense, but the lip goes on the top. It won't fit the other way around. And it's all in there. You put your 3 tabs back, which are 1, 2, and 3. I got everything cleaned up as best as I could with what I have in the garage right now. So we'll put that back on. Don't forget to put the tube on first, kind of slip that on, and then this will flip back down as you clip it in. All right, so now that everything is down and back in place, keep in mind for this, you can see if I pull it back here, like I said, you got the little notch, and it actually, when you put this on, that little plastic nub I was talking about goes right in there. You're done. Crank that back down. With these bands, it does not have to be extremely tight, so don't go ham on it. Just tighten it till it's snug. It's more than enough because we did have that lip on the outer side as well, so it's going to bite. It's not going to allow it to fly back off. And then because that filter we put in, the K&N one, is slightly sticky, like I said, you kind of have to force this down a little bit the first time. You can see it moves on and off nicely right now. But to get those pins in, you want to kind of get it in and push backwards at the same time, because as you can see, the far side is not lined up. If the phone will focus, you can see it's poked out a little bit there. So if you come over here, kind of lift it up, wiggle back and forth, you want to get those pins in, and then this will drop down and be seated all the way around before you clip these down. Otherwise, it's not going to sit properly. All right, so now when you see that all 3 of those nubs are in and they're flush, you can see it'll butt right up to those tabs, along with the side here has a little cutout, goes up, which will match the cutout on the bottom like that when it's closed. And now the front is all level with each other. So then click it down, grab this one, click it up, and you're done. We did tighten this back down. Again, it's an 8mm if you want to take it off. You don't have to go that crazy. You can just pop this up and flip it if you want. But like I said, I do recommend checking in there to make sure there's no dust or anything getting through. And just like that, your filter is all done. All right, so there we go. Old one's out, new one's in. One thing to keep note of is when you are ordering this, if you get it off of Amazon like I did, make sure you get the 33-5116. It does fit the Frontier, but Amazon is not updated enough for the 22 plus Frontiers, the Gen 3s. So it will tell you it does not fit. It pops up as fitting a Cadillac. I can't remember the exact model, but it fits a Cadillac. It's the same filter, I guess, because if it's made for that on Amazon, obviously it fits the car or the SUV as well. But it's going to say it does not fit the Frontier, which as you can see here, yes, it does. If you go to K&N site and you order it directly from there, they do have it updated. That's how I found the number. But for being up here in Canada, it's much easier to ship straight to my house from Amazon. So we got it from there. And again, if you go to the store, just look for that number, 33-5116, and you are all good to go. So if this video helped you out, make sure to like and subscribe. Go back, check out some of the other videos we got on the truck. There's plenty of them by now. And hopefully we catch you guys in another video. And thanks for watching this one.